So it's just finished down at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Spurs won, Sunderland won. Of course, Danny, we are instantly reacting to the game. And it's an old cliche, but it was really was a game of two halves.
It certainly was, Frank. Yeah, I think everyone will agree. First off, we weren't at it. I think we looked leggy. That game in the week against City, the effort the lads put on. Obviously, Regis going with the same 11. I think it was looking like it had caught up with the boys, to be honest.
Yeah.
And as you say, Spurs were pushing, pressing us. We couldn't keep the ball. Mistake after mistake, inviting them on. And then, thankfully, as you say, you're getting a goal down, really. For all the possession they had, perhaps Spurs would have wanted to create a little bit more. And then you're still in the game, of course, at one. And then they come out second half. And then maybe, I think, 55, 60 minutes, you just felt the game changing. And then the atmosphere in the stadium down there at the moment, they haven't been great at home, Spurs. You could just feel it changing a little bit. And then you could see the confidence growing into the boys. And we looked like we had some energy from somewhere and managed to get ourselves going and getting ourselves back into the game.
So going back to the starting 11, were you surprised there wasn't any changes from the effort the lads put in against Manchester City, Danny?
Possibly. I think sometimes, they've put that shift in and you want to try and stay with it. The 11, really, the confidence in them. And we haven't got, if we're honest at this moment in time, the squad's depleted. So he's maybe looking at it and thinking, where can I make these changes? Isidore obviously not in the squad, so we're not sure what's happened there. He's obviously picked up an injury or illness, maybe. We'll have to wait and see.
Minor
Um,
injury is what Regis said before
Minor
the game.
injury. Right, okay, then, yeah, so precaution maybe. And then obviously Dan Ballard's the one that come back in there and obviously came on second half. So, no, he's hoping that the lads can go there. And he say you're building from the good point against City in the week and obviously the lead result as well. And against the Spurs side, as I mentioned there, have been a little bit frail at home this season so far. Maybe hoping we could go there, start well on the front foot and get at them. But it wasn't the case, was it? As I mentioned, we were losing possession throughout the team. Really, wasn't just one or two players. It seemed to be a bit of a virus going through the 11, really, where we couldn't keep the ball. But to say, thankfully, we're getting just a goal down, and then you can always come out and improve second half, and that was certainly the case. And then looking at where we were last 20 minutes, we'll get onto the goal, well worked goal, but then we look like the side in the ascendancy. We're going to go on if any of the sides were to go on and get the winner. But it's another great point on the road.
Yeah, let's talk about their goal first, Danny. Your Welsh teammate coming up with a goal. He doesn't score many, but it was a little bit sloppy from the
Yeah,
Sunderland point of view, would you say? Defensively, a bit static.
yeah. Have a look at it back at half time. I think they work it quite well. I think it's Alderete. Romero, I think, gets free at the far post, and they bumped him off. They block him off, and he gets free. 5 yards there. I think he cushions it back down, doesn't he? I think it's Van der Ven that comes onto it, and then Ben Davies is there just to get the touch, isn't he? So there are three defenders involved there in that set piece. But from our point of view, generally, we haven't been too bad from set pieces. I think maybe Guardiola's down at City, free header on that one. But this one there, it's sloppy from our point of view, where it's not a first phase where he's headed it direct. Can we react? Can we switch on and pick up? We don't, and obviously it ends up in the back of the net. And I don't think you would argue there that Spurs deserve the lead really from the half an hour or so of play. They were much the better side. But yeah, credit to the boys, as I say, they picked themselves up and come out second half and get going a little bit.
Yeah, it certainly did get going in the second half. A word on Sunderland's goal then. There was a couple of almost moments before that, particularly Enzo Lefebvre involved in some stuff. But when Nordy McQuarrie went on the right-hand side, that seemed to make the difference for Sunderland from an attacking point of view. But Brian Brobby with the goal.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was a well-worked goal, wasn't it? As you say, I think Nordy just punches the ball into him there. A little one round the corner into Enzo Lefebvre, little give and go. And then Brobby, great touch, and then bang with the left foot, cuts across it, fires it into the that top corner. No chance for Vicario, and we're back in it then. And as I say, you could just we looked like we had energy from somewhere, from where we were in the first half, where we looked like we were running in treacle at times and leggy across the pitch. All of a sudden, we're back in it. You can hear the fans in that far corner. And as I say, from that point on, you're thinking, can we go and be a little bit greedy? Can we go on and get the winner? But obviously, it's overall, the course of the 90 minutes, I think it's probably a fair result, gazing off it really, and chances created. And then obviously he changed it. Mundell comes on and he moves Trey across at this moment in time where we're having to jink the team a little bit and to accommodate for the positions where we perhaps haven't got the strength in depth at this moment in time. Dennis has put a lot in the last couple of games. He comes off, Trey comes across there. Ballard comes on. We rejigged the back four. And as you say, and then Nordy moving across to right back, he can get forward, and he did quite well at times down that right hand side. Um, so yeah, fantastic. The boys are delighted. You're looking at it, and then just looking at the table. Our friends down the road had won, and we're in front, and they'd gone above us in the table. And then, it's a valuable point. I say on the road, take your points. Yes, at home we've had a couple of draws there, but you're remaining unbeaten. You keep the confidence in the squad, and then hopefully in the next week or two, we know we've still got a couple of toughies on the road to come, but the lads can come back from AFCON, and we're still in a good position.
That's right. As Danny says, Sunderland back in action on Wednesday, the G-Tech. So the lads staying down for a little bit of a holiday down in the capital for the next few days. We'll be back to react after that one. But for now, just remember to share, subscribe, like these little videos, and we'll see you next time.
See you soon.